we are officially in storm season.
Springtime means storm time.
Storm time. It's always something. It's either cold winter and you're bitching about that, or we're bitching about the storm. So we're going to talk
storms, though. I mean, I don't want them to be dangerous.
Right. So we're going to talk about some storms, just in general, mostly Midwest type storms because that's where we live. But yeah, you ready?
Let's blow it away.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Jello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up. So yeah, we're going to talk about the fucking weather because we are, like, that is such a Midwest thing to talk about. Yeah. It 100% is.
I'm that weirdo on my porch looking for the funnel cloud.
I'm the weirdo tucked in my basement that I don't have. But, okay, so this weather in general, if you sit and think about it, it's so fucking interesting.
It is.
And just like you said, a tornado. If a tornado can skip that house, and just devastate my house.
The way they're so sporadic.
Everything about them, and this storm season has already been a fucker.
Yeah. It started early.
Yes. Like March 14th of this year. So we had our first huge fucking storm.
Yeah.
It tore apart cities.
It was insane. It was
horrible.
Multiple states were affected. It was
the entire, think of the United States, there's a line across it. Every state got hit at some point in the middle, crazy. In the Midwest. And all the way down to Texas, and even Florida got some of it, and over on the East Coast. And
it was nuts.
It's insane. And that was March 14th. I don't remember ever having a bad storm that early. Yeah, we get little rumbles here and there.
But I think tornado season typically is from April to June. And so for an early March one like that to hit so hard.
But then I also remember one year we had one on New Year's Eve. I remember being at my grandma's house on New Year's Eve, and we had to duck in the
I guess it does happen. Yeah, because that's when you hear about the thunder snow and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah, that's weird stuff.
Yeah,
and I remember hearing it a couple times, but more recently, the last couple years, thunder snow has been a thing.
If you don't know what thunder snow is, it's literally thunder as it's snowing. That's it. Yeah. It's a winter storm with nothing but snow.
Because we get our winter storms here in the Midwest.
Oh, right.
Storms.
All
we
over
get,
the place.
We get our blizzards and ice storms and all. We get pretty much everything but hurricanes, I guess. All the weird stuff. We've had earthquakes, tornadoes. We've had, a lot of tornadoes.
Right.
But the blizzards, and you expect in the winter blizzards, ice storms, sleet, that kind of stuff.
And that's not when we get the thunder snow. Right. That's what's weird.
Yeah.
It is literally just a nice, calm fucking December day, and it starts to snow, and you hear thunder like crazy.
It's so weird.
As my adult self, and the last, I'm going to say 5 years, I've heard it 3 times.
Yeah.
Before that, I don't think it was real. I think it's one of those things.
My mom said she remembers when she was little hearing about it, and it was so weird, such a strange thing.
Did she hear about it, or did she hear it?
I'm thinking she said she actually heard it.
Okay.
Because they thought it was so weird, they'd never seen or heard anything like it.
Okay.
And then I remember hearing about it in the last few years, but that's it.
Right.
And then there's so many new things that I've not heard of, the bomb cyclone thing that came
we had
through.
one of those a couple months ago, the bomb cyclone.
And I guess that was something with cold air and pressure drops and then storms coming through, but it was supposed to affect anyone.
There's been several of those in multiple states and areas recently.
And I know pressure drop is typical with the weather changing, but it was insane. It was we could feel the pressure, and they said anyone with joint problems or migraines would be affected.
Yeah.
The weather groups I'm in and stuff, the pages I follow, people were just the comments were full of people I'm hurting so bad, the pressure's affecting me like crazy. And then it wasn't too long and we had storms. So, and storms, you get some kind of storm everywhere you live. There's going to be something. You get hurricanes here in the U.S., typically the same. I think they're the same thing. They're all tropical storms, a typhoon and a cyclone are all the same as a hurricane, but they're in different regions, different areas.
Okay, isn't a typhoon after an earthquake? Something comes after an earthquake. It might not be typhoon.
A tsunami?
Tsunami. Never mind. They start with a T, okay?
I think tsunamis have something to do with it.
Okay.
But they're more like the waves, right? With the
I don't
waves
know.
acting up.
Scratch last statement. Keep going.
We don't live near an ocean, really, so we don't know. But I'm pretty sure that here we call them hurricanes, but in the northern Pacific, they call them typhoons. And then the South Pacific regions, they call them cyclones. But they're supposed to be all the same type of tropical storm, just
That's my ice maker.
That's a storm in the ice maker.
The ice maker is about to drop.
Oh boy, about to have a large hailstorm.
So different regions call them different things. So a cyclone can get as strong as a hurricane that we get.
Yeah, they're all technically cyclones, I think, or like tropical cyclones. Just different names. The refrigerator's having a storm of its own.
Hold on.
What's weird is it's supposed to storm today, guys.
It is supposed to storm today. I was kind of hoping we would get some thunder rolling in the background, but I think it's going to be later this evening, so that's fine.
The sky was red today, though, so that's cool.
The sky was red, so that's fun. And then we had more mud rain.
Yeah,
recently.
What the fuck?
We had more mud rain.
The other day, what'd you call it? Windshield jizz?
Yeah.
And I laughed so fucking hard. I was like, windshield jizz. Because you're just driving along and all of a sudden it's fucking raining mud. What?
Your windshield has mud on it. And of course, my husband fails to replace my windshield wiper replacement, which I can do it, but I don't know where the stuff is. Like, I don't know where he keeps it in that.
Tell me where it's at.
Hell of a shed. I know how to do it.
I tell my husband, I'm like, you tell me where the leaf blower is, I'll blow the leaves, but you got to tell me where it's at. I can't find shit.
I'm not digging through that shit. Like, I refuse to go in there sometimes. Like, it's not bad right now because who cleaned it? Anyway, but I didn't see any. And he swears we have some. I'm just about to go buy some and pour it in the freaking AutoZone parking lot or wherever the hell, the O'Reilly's. I don't even know what we have anymore because it's annoying. Anyway. Mud rain is fucking weird. Never had that in my entire life. Yeah. This year we've had it twice already.
Never witnessed that.
And it's because of the dust from
the south,
Texas,
I think Texas,
Alabama,
and I know Texas, and I want to say
another state.
Was it New Mexico? Maybe
I don't know.
And I guess it blew up and over and hit
the
rain.
That's another fucked up thing we can talk about. Remember the fires in Canada?
Yeah,
that was devastating them, and we could see it.
Yeah,
we could see the fucking smoke.
Exactly.
Once again, 37 fucking years old. This has never happened before. Yeah. I'm a very, very, very aware person, especially when it comes to storms. Yeah. I've always been a psycho about them because I'm fucking terrified of them. So I would remember this shit. Yeah. I would remember when the air is full of smoke from Canada. Yeah. That's so far away from us.
Wild.
So fucking far.
But then how come the California fires we didn't see anything?
I think we have before.
Okay.
I think we have before. It's just, it wasn't as
It makes sense,
severe.
I guess. Canada is probably not as, California's way out west, and maybe just the way the wind blows. I don't know, but conspiracies aside.
So technically, are we closer to Canada or California?
I would say probably Canada.
Really?
Depending on where you're at in the Midwest. California's a drive from the Midwest. Say even if you're as far west as I don't know. I've never been that far west, so I
haven't either.
I know it would probably take a full day to drive, full 24 hours to drive to some parts of California. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, okay.
But I bet it's the location and the way the winds are blowing. But how this dust storm from Texas is coming all the way up here, and now today, I assume that's why the sky's a little red. Maybe.
Yeah, our sky is red today. It has a red fucking tint to it.
In other parts around here, in this area, I've heard that the sky is a little greenish yellow. What is that?
Green means take fucking cover.
What is that? I always thought that was with storms like tornadoes.
Exactly. That's why I said take fucking cover.
Okay, so it's not a chemical thing. Then.
No, that's a tornado.
But they don't have storms up there right now. They said they're not supposed to get storms till later. So
maybe that's the storm rolling in, and you just see it from far enough away.
Yeah, because I always thought green meant tornadoes coming.
Yeah, that's my experience. Anytime I see green in the sky, I'm cautious.
Yeah.
So it's weird to me that, especially recently, the storms we get are always severe. Yeah. We do not get a good, anymore. Calm thunderstorm anymore.
The snowstorm we had a few months ago, that was a full-on, 8, 9 inches. It wasn't simple.
It was more than 8 or 9 inches. It was 1 or 2 inches of snow with 3 inches of ice.
It was
and
layered.
then another 6 inches of fucking snow.
It was a fucking winter lasagna.
So,
sorry. It was crazy. And that's what made it so dangerous because you didn't know what was snow, what was ice.
Do you know how hard it was to drag water buckets out?
Oh my gosh.
Because by the time I busted through the snow, I had layers of ice that I then had to bust through to drag a wagon full of 5-gallon buckets full of water.
It might be worth investing in some kind of water station out there.
So listen, next year I already have a plan for next year. We're not going to talk about it on here. There's no I'm not doing that shit again. If we're going to have severe winters like that, I have a plan. 100%.
And I had a feeling this winter would be severe, and I've been saying I think this spring is going to be as well.
Oh, it already has.
I thought that is it El Nino thing? I thought that had passed, and that was supposed to have a big thing to do with it, right?
We're in the lingering El Nino.
Okay, so there's El Nino and there's La Nina. What's the difference? I know female, male, but is it different regions? If they're different times? I don't know the difference.
Okay, so El Nino is when the water surface in the Pacific Ocean is warmer than normal.
Okay.
It like warms up hotter than what it should, and it brings all that air towards us. That's El Nino.
So it's like a pattern more than anything.
Yes. Okay. La Nina, right? La Nina. Mm-hmm. That is the same thing, only it's colder than normal. Okay. The El Nino is when we get the hellacious fucking bullshit. Okay. It's usually once every 7 years. The El Nino. The La Nina is not very often. Like, it's kind of rare to have the opposite. But the El Nino, it warms the Pacific Ocean, and then it blows all that warm water, air, everything into us, and it just, like, fucks with the climate. Okay. The normal climate. And it only happens, like I said, every 7... It said 6 to 7 years. Last year it was supposed to be like out of its... Last year was an El Nino. Now, I've seen people say sometimes the year after the El Nino, because we're trying to go back to normal now, like our climate is. Sometimes the year after is worse than the physical El Nino. Some residual Which chaos. We had some fucked up shit last year. Yeah, the storms were horrible. The winter was terrible. Yeah. Well, now we're getting out of that. Our climate's trying to go back to normal, so it's going to disrupt it even further for that matter.
Well, they said last year, 2024, they said there were nearly 1,800 tornadoes confirmed just in the U.S., which most tornadoes are in the U.S. Yeah, That was the second highest on record. Like the second highest year on record. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I bet the first highest year was an El Nino year.
I bet it
You know
had
what
to
I mean?
Be, yeah.
Like, so, but they say, like I said, the one after, we just got to get back to normal. So things are trying to get back to normal, but that hotness is still kind of lingering. And it's a whole big situation. I sound like a newscaster. I'm really not. I just find it all so fucking interesting and weird. And it's like, we always talk about the weather. Everyone talks about the weather, but nobody dives and listens and looks and you know what I mean.
It's one thing to be like, oh, it's such a nice day out. Oh, it's a little windy today, but to get into like all the phenomena, there's so many strange things.
Like, there is, and some things you can't explain. And then another thing, so many people. Global warming. Yeah. I am not saying our global is not warming.
Climate change is obviously a thing, but there is so much just so fast all of a sudden. That seems...
And then if you watch the news, people, or if you do your research, I mean, you can go to Google, or I prefer DuckDuckGo, he's my friend. You can go to these web searches, and, like, the exact same thing happened in 1952.
Right. And there is a thing with, like, every so many years, cycles repeat, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. And then every 7 years, you get the El Nino. So you get that bad, severe
I'm sure
weather.
The Earth has its patterns, and it's, you know...
Exactly. 100%.
Maybe we, with social media and the fact that we are just so much more aware.
I talked to my grandma about it the other day, and she's like, sweetie, I really think it's just because we are so connected to each other across the world right now. We're becoming more aware. She's like, you're realizing there's a storm down in Florida because someone in Florida is telling you on TikTok. Yeah. You wouldn't have known otherwise. I remember
hearing about the hurricanes when I was young and things like that.
I'm talking about like snowstorms and tornadoes in Florida.
Yeah, more detailed things.
We wouldn't have known that. Yep. Maybe it snowed in Florida a few other times, a dusting or whatever. We would never have known that if we didn't have social media.
I'm not saying like specifically the weather, like the Weather Channel in general has always been like, you know, if you're... You either watch it because you really want to know and you're like worried and need to know, or you watch it because you're trying to prepare or whatever, but nobody just watches it for fun. Nobody watches it because it brings them comfort is what I'm saying.
Some people might.
Well, I guess maybe if it calms them down. But so weather in general when they're reporting is never like a happy thing most of the time. Right. But lately it's like all the weather pages and things that you follow, like all the updates, they're all just like fear-mongering and like,
oh my god,
just full of clickbait. Like, this is the most deadly volatile thing you'll ever see, and it's like, okay, we have tornadoes every year, we know what to do.
It's getting fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about spreading what happened to your community, what's coming to your community, all of that kind of stuff. Right. But the way they are portraying it now, and last year was It was starting last year, but this year, that one storm we had, girl, we had fucking alerts and warnings 2 weeks in advance. And we didn't get half of what other people got that were states away from us.
I'm so glad it was good here, but some people got hit really hard.
Why are you terrifying us like that? Yeah. And obviously, they don't know. Yeah. Nobody knows exactly how it's going to hit, where it's going to hit. Things pop up. I understand that.
Even like all the weather apps I follow, like they're like today it said it wasn't going to storm this morning, and now it is. Like,
and see, my weather app that I follow has scared me all day.
Really?
My local weather one. Prepare for hard storms later this evening. You might need to take shelter. Keep a flashlight. It's literally telling me these things when we're not supposed to get anything but a light thunderstorm today. Supposed to.
The other night, it didn't even it didn't say it was storming until an hour after it already started. Maybe I need a new weather app.
I think you need a new weather app because mine had been warning me for 2 weeks about what's coming. In a couple of weeks, we're gonna have a monster storm. There needs to be a happy medium. Yeah. I want to know about the weather, but you don't need to scare me about the weather. A couple days before, maybe not 2 fucking weeks. A couple days before, be like, listen,
a big thing
we have something coming soon. You might want to start watching. Yeah. And that's it. That's what we used to do.
Yeah, but this could be big, but, and most of them are like, I don't sugarcoat things, or this isn't like me to be dramatic. That's how they all start. But this is the worst you'll ever see.
We had local people going on the fucking Facebook Live. Yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. The one from a town not far from us.
And I'm sure they meant well. I'm sure it was because they did see all of that.
He was like, we just had a meeting with our, our weather guy, and just about how, you guys, I'm not trying to scare you, but this is going to be bad. This is going to be horrible. It wasn't as bad for us as it was for others.
Thank God it wasn't. But
the worst thing for us was winds. Yeah. And I know tornadoes can pick you and choose you and jump over you and go that way.
Come out of fucking nowhere.
But you don't need to scare the fuck out of us, because trust me, we're already scared.
Right. Be prepared, yes. Yeah. But, scaring everyone, I just don't think is... I don't know. It's one thing just to be prepared, but I do feel like the fear thing is... The way they're scaring us is
fear-mongering. New. Yeah. It's 100% new. Yeah. And I don't like it. This storm that came today, all the warnings I've had the last 3 days for the storm, next round of storms, I've ignored them. Yeah. Because if not, I'm going to spiral at this point, because I can't handle this every day.
I've never been scared of storms. I've never been one to worry. As long as everyone's home and safe and we got plans, whatever. I do prepare. I like to prepare. Yeah. I like to have my flashlights, my candles, everything. But I don't worry about storms. But that's how they turn people who don't even worry about storms into worrying about them. That last storm, I was checking out the window. I was sitting on the porch watching like a hawk, because I'm like, okay, where's the big stuff? Where's the stuff they're talking about? 1, I'm intrigued. 2, I was worked up because
they worked you up.
Me who normally doesn't get, I've been through tornadoes. I've been through it all. I don't worry about storms. But that night I was on edge, and I'm like, this isn't like,
and I also want to point out, we have had several tornadoes take out parts of our town before. Oh, yeah. It's happened. Mm-hmm. I can think of at least 3 or 4 where parts of our town has been demolished. There's no more of it. It is gone. We had one. We lived in this house. It was the first spring we lived here. It was right over us, and it hit
oh wow,
not even a mile. We could see where it touched down and took its path through the woods.
My husband's grandpa, he's very elderly, in his 90s, and he had one hit his house. I think it was last year. He doesn't live here in our town, but you live in between the towns. Mm-hmm. But anyway, close, within 20 minutes of where. And had they not moved him from his window, they were, luckily family was there, but it right there in that whole area of town, just they just come out of nowhere, and they dip and they jump, and so you never know. You may see it and think it's not coming your way, but it might decide it wants to fucking turn around.
If you've seen Twister, or the new one, I think it's Twisters with a plural, it's like that, literally. It's the way they are. Stopping a truck to put little soda can daisies up in the air to catch, that might not be true. Maybe. But the way they jump and come down, or it's going to turn. Monsters. It's the exact same thing. That is how you can look at it. I've physically seen with my eyes, probably 15 tornadoes, in my life.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
100%. I've seen them while I'm driving down the road.
Yeah.
I've seen just
I guess I've seen
off
funnel
in the
clouds
distance.
And stuff.
And no, I'm talking about full ass coming down. I've seen several. They're far enough away.
Yeah.
And I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah.
But you can just watch that fucker, and it will be straight, and then it'll just be okay, we're going that. It's so weird and unpredictable, and I don't think we will ever understand it. Yeah. Did you know they tried to do studies? Have you seen Twisters? In Twisters, they try to do studies to stop tornadoes.
Really?
They're actually trying to do that.
Wow. Not I don't know that they need to fuck
not
with that.
Like they did in the movies.
Yeah.
But it has to do with warming or cooling the air with satellites.
That's concerning.
Before a tornado hits. I don't think they've actually done it yet. They're just doing the paperwork.
I get why they want to try to prevent
They're also doing stuff with trying to stop hurricanes.
Wow.
That's that's pretty much flying over a hurricane and dropping a bomb inside of the hurricane over the ocean, not when it's in land, and it explodes it and disrupts it. I've seen that too. I don't know what kind of bomb. I don't think they've ever tried it once again.
Messing too much.
I feel like it's all research right now.
Yeah.
But when I was doing stuff, like looking stuff up for this, like that, I saw both of those things.
And the thing with, I don't know a lot about hurricanes because obviously we don't live near the ocean, but I know that, they seem to, like, whereas tornadoes will hit fast and they'll hit a small area really hard, hurricanes obviously hit larger areas at once, and they can be just as devastating. They're terrible. But tornadoes, it is the weirdest thing. Like the one that hit when my oldest was younger, we were down in the basement, so we weren't watching it, but we knew it was happening outside. And my husband was at work, and had he not been at work, it hit like our yard, like our tree went down in our driveway, so his car would have been smashed. It was like all our houses on our road, the next road was completely untouched. It was like nothing touched it. It's so weird how, and I know just straight line winds can do that. Like
straight line winds,
you can have a big storm hit, but it's crazy. You will literally see a neighborhood destroyed, and then the next one is completely fine.
Or you'll see a neighborhood destroyed, and there's one perfect house in the middle of it, but untouched. Nothing but a tree branch in the front yard.
It's so weird. It
insane.
Is so weird.
100%.
I mean, they're just, I don't know. I've always been so fascinated by tornadoes. I just find them so...
They terrify me. When I was in first grade, we were in a tornado, and we were like in school, down in the hallway, and ever since then, that is the time. I am a 37-year-old human being, okay? My dad still calls me every time it's going to storm. Oh. I'm not kidding you. My father, he calls all the kids.
Yeah.
It's for Christmas, the first year we move out, he bought us all a weather radio.
That's sweet.
Like a battery operated,
do you think
take
he
with
worries
you.
Too, then?
100%.
Yeah.
He had to have something tragic happen.
My mom, she won't say she's worried, but she's a preparer, and she'll be like, okay, guys, here, she'll give us constant updates.
Yeah.
Like, we have a family chat, and she'll update us.
He worries, but he's also the one standing in the front yard with a beer watching it to see which way it shifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was with him a few times seeing tornadoes, just because
Yeah.
They were right there.
That's my dad was always the one on the porch watch until the very last second.
Because that's how we used to do it. Yeah. We didn't have the weatherman telling us it's coming to you.
Yeah.
No,
we weren't watching Facebook updates and watching our radar
our dads
online.
Like, we're all collectively outside in the yard with their New Balance sneakers on and their long-ass jorts. With their fucking Nike t-shirts and a beer in their hand.
My dad wasn't a beer, but he'd have a glass of iced sweet tea.
Most of our dads were beers. It's the 90s, okay? Staring at the sky, and he was our weatherman.
Yeah.
He came in and said, take fucking cover. He said,
if
clear.
Dad says to take cover, it's
and
time.
you need to understand, he was more accurate than any motherfucker with any science college degree with weather. I'm sorry, he was. Yep. He was. And he still to this day.
Our dads are a lot
calls me. I know, it's kind of weird. He calls me. He said, it's coming. Like, you need to be prepared. And I'm like, trust me, they've been warning me for 2 weeks. I got this, Dad. Like, I got this.
The other night with the big storm, I had one brother that was working, like, in another town. So he was, like, it was hitting his town first. So she was worried about him getting home. She was worried about us getting home, my mom. But she wouldn't say, like, I'm worried. She'd just do check-ins. Like, has anybody lost power yet? Or my other brother did lose his power.
It was like one of those like undercover
like okay, well, it looks like it's about 20 minutes from our county, like just constant check-ins. My other brother was like, Mom, you gotta chill. And I'm like, she's chill. This is her way of keeping control. Right. I get it. Like, but I watch it constantly.
I guarantee you that fucking fear scared her like that though.
Yeah.
Because
we've been through it. Yeah, I remember, and my experience with the tornado, I was also in first grade, but I remember it being fun. I know that's weird, but like our teacher was like really laid back about it. We all sang, we held hands.
Oh my God, my teacher was bawling in the corner because she was...
See, that's where I think there's a big difference in how people... I was telling my husband this. I think there's a big difference in when you're small and the adults around you and your environment and how you're like... how they react is how you're going to become. Because my first tornado, my teacher was really calm and kept us all calm. We sang, we held hands, I was happy. We came out and everything was destroyed. But we were safe. Like, we were okay. Yeah. But I look back and that's my first experience.
I remember our playground equipment was like no longer there. Yeah. Like, it was there, but it was like fucking mangled. Yeah.
It's weird. And we were in two different parts of the same town. So that hit different parts of the city. Yeah, it jumped around.
I think that was a lot of wind too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so tornadoes. That's obviously what we know. So we're going to talk mostly about
get blizzards.
Tornadoes.
We get flash floods. Flash floods are nuts. Like, we had that big one a few months back.
Flash floods are fucking insane.
They are.
And it's just like the ground is so fucking wet so fast.
Yeah.
The water has nowhere to go and it just rises above you.
Yep.
Like, we've had several since I lived here.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I don't remember. I guess I can remember
I
several
remember
of those.
when my daughter, not too long after that tornado we had, so maybe 15 years ago, she was little, and we lived in the same house the tornado happened. I remember that being so flooded. We had an old bungalow and like a big front porch, and it was all the way up past the steps. And my husband had his fishing pole. He's pretending to fish. Oh my gosh. And I was seeing
Did he catch anything? Hold on. Did
almost caught a trash can.
Okay, cool.
Or a lot of things like just
floating,
the
debris.
whole, there's no way you would have got a car out in it.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And then we had one similar not too long ago. My husband works in a different town, about 30 minutes away, and the dam, the reservoir there broke.
Oh yeah,
so he was trapped at work. He couldn't get home.
Like recently.
Yeah, just a few months ago, maybe. I'm not sure how long ago that was, but yeah, that was nuts.
Like, towns are underwater. Well, okay, the dams and levees and reservoirs breaking. Yeah, I understand.
Right,
like they broke
because that went down pretty fast.
They're old. We probably don't repair them like we should. I understand that. I think that's a lot of the reason. I'm not 100%, and this is why we didn't touch a lot on hurricanes. Why a lot of hurricanes, the flooding stays, is because all those things break.
Yeah.
They
just can't hold the weight.
I think that's a good reason why the flooding stays. Like, it doesn't recede back. But,
because I remember watching on the news and stuff when I was little with hurricanes that, all the sandbags and trying to hold the water back and things and that's something that we don't know a lot about because we've never experienced it. But
I truly think a hurricane is worse than a tornado, and I've never experienced a hurricane in my life.
I just think it's such a wide, bigger area, and then it can last so much longer. So it's like tornadoes one and done, boom, it's in and it's out. So at least it's quick. And if you can prepare, you can almost always stay as long as you're in a safe place.
I feel like with a tornado, though, too, we are so unpredictable. We cannot say tomorrow your county will receive a tornado at 1 p.m. No, it's a guessing game.
I'd say that's one good thing with a hurricane is they can prepare.
And don't get me wrong, I know they shift and twist, and it's like, okay, today we're going to hit Jordan Street. No, we're going to move over to Walmart Street. Then we're going to move over to Hickory Street. I'm saying streets because I know no towns that get hit by hurricanes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they have more of a guided adjust as to where that main area is going to hit.
Right.
And at least if you live on the coast and a hurricane's coming, you need to take cover.
You need to get out. And you've got time at least to prepare most
a storm coming that's going across the entirety of the United States. Literally. From Canada to Texas. This storm cell is moving across. Do you know how many millions of trillions of thousands of people don't know if they're going to get hit or not?
Right. Or if they pop up in the middle of the night they're sleeping.
Those are
well, that's why they say nighttime tornadoes are so deadly because people are sleeping and they don't even know. They don't even. By the time you hear the sirens, it's too late.
I will say now, the only good thing is all of our phones screech at us, like all of our phones collectively. So everyone wakes up. Yeah. Because we have. Speaking of phones, that was not a fart. That was a phone going off. But we have iPads and phones, and everyone in my house has an electronic device that will scream at you to wake up. So that's a good...
And the other night we had all those storms. We were under a tornado watch for hours and under a warning for quite a while.
We never got a warning.
We never got it. Our sirens never went off, and we never got an update on the phone.
You don't know why?
Why?
Because it wasn't you. It was miles and miles and miles away from you.
It was our county, but
they have now split counties.
Yeah.
So now the northern part of our county was the one that was getting the tornado. Okay. We were not. That's why we didn't have sirens going off. That's why we didn't have our phones go off. Yeah. Because they have now narrowed it down. And I like that.
Yeah.
We know it's coming directly for the northern part. Yeah. Our county is fucking huge.
We're in a different county than you are, but we're still on like the outskirts. Yeah. So it was like... This county's in tornado warning right now. Take shelter on my app, but nothing came through. Both of our
counties, and I think it's mostly like this. There's like 15 cities in our one county.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're pretty.
You know what I mean?
Pretty big.
So like, it could hit me and not hit you, which is fucking insane because we live in the same
area. Yeah.
10 minutes away from each other. Anyway, okay.
Crazy.
So back to tornadoes. So as we've stated before, we record these episodes before they come out, about a month. So today, is March 19th. We are still in March today. I found this interesting, so that's why I'm telling you the date of our recording, which I don't normally do. 100 years ago today, on March 19th, in 1925, a tri-state tornado touched down in Ellington, Missouri at 1:01 p.m. In 3.5 hours, it crossed 3 states, Missouri, Illinois, then Indiana. It took 695 lives.
Oh my gosh. Is that what, like the biggest
one? It is the
recorded?
longest and most deadliest tornado to ever stay on the ground.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes.
Just ripped right through the Midwest.
100 years ago, though. So here we go. This has happened before.
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Exactly. It's almost 1 o'clock, too.
Now, if we had a tornado like this today, people would be crying it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this happened 100 years ago today.
And maybe they thought that back then, but they had no way to reach everybody.
No, but there was no social media in the 20s, I promise
you can tell your neighbor, but...
Okay, so a tornado in 1999 in Oklahoma, the winds reached up to 310 miles per hour.
Wow.
That is the strongest tornado ever recorded in history.
Because to be considered an F5 is 200.
Yes.
And that's the biggest on the chart.
This was 310 miles per hour.
To reach 300, that's insane.
That's nothing lived.
Because if we get...
like, animals included.
The other night we had like maybe 45, 50 mile an hour winds. At the high.
Girl, it got up to 82.
They said it was going to, but...
Oh, it did where I was.
Really?
Trees were like...
Really?
There's no way that was 40.
Because I was watching my thing to watch the wind.
I saw outside my window watching the trees touch the earth.
But to get the mileage per hour or whatever, I kept checking it on the app, and it was like...
Well, you don't look at the app. It was just on the news. Oh, they probably lied to us.
They did say that it got high?
I think it got up to 72 where we live.
My
gusts. Just the gusts.
Gusts. Okay, I was going to say...
It's not constant.
There were a couple gusts that hit, and I was like, whoa. I told my husband, like, that had to be at least 60, and he's like, no. I'm like, well, when I was on the road earlier, they were saying it was only 30, and I was swerving in my big SUV.
Today's probably 30.
Yeah, today I would say, So that was a lot. But I had a couple gusts, and I was like, that's high. They were talking it could have been, 70 to 90.
They said, I think I said 82, but I think our area got 72 highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
but imagine that. That was taking power lines out. People were losing power. People
were losing power before the storm hit.
Really?
Entire towns lost power.
And my brother lost power before it hit, but the wind hit
because of the wind.
The wind knocked
all
the tree.
about the wind. Yeah,
yeah. It was just the wind. Yeah,
the wind was so
wind
bad
alone, and that's when you get into like straight line winds and derricos, and that's. I've driven in one of those, and it ain't fun.
No thanks. I'll stay home.
Wind alone can do so fucking much damage.
It really can. Okay, so winter tornadoes are a thing. It's real.
I've never seen one, but I know they can happen.
So like I said, the one in January, it was New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing Christmas with my grandma because like Christmas time everyone was sick or something. So we had to push it off. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we were doing Christmas with my grandma on New Year's Eve, and we had to get in the fucking hallway.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was bad. And it hit cities. Like, it hit cities very close to us. So it was a thing. But also, in 1953, going back again, Mississippi, a tornado hit in Mississippi in December, and it killed 38 people.
Wow.
They're rare.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly...
They say...
Every so often, we have a warm fucking winter. And I think those are the...
Most likely.
Yes.
They say 80% of the tornadoes are in spring, but...
Yes, not all of them.
They can still happen.
Like, literally, it can happen anytime.
And I was reading, like... I'm like, surely tornadoes happen all over the world. I guess they do, but it's not common. 75% are in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I also read that they hit more here and they're more deadly here because our country has the cold air from Canada
that makes sense.
And the warm air from the Mexico, South America, and we are the middle.
That makes sense.
So that is why we get so many deadly fucking tornadoes. Do not get me wrong. I know there are deadly tornadoes in other countries.
Right.
I know they're just as severe, but I think we get more severe. Like, they'll get 1 or 2. We'll get 10 or 15.
Yeah.
And I'm just exaggerating. I think I saw where, like, New Zealand gets 20 a year, where we get thousands a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just...
Yeah, I think it's around 1,000 a year in the U.S. and that
was just last year. Though.
Last year was 1,800. That was like the second highest ever recorded.
Higher year.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tornado Alley. If you live in the Midwest, you know what the fuck Tornado Alley was. When I was a child, I was terrified of this. Like, my brain, my fucking mental ill brain that I didn't know was mentally ill, pictured an alley that a tornado went down.
And I was like, there's an actual
alley. And it's
alley.
coming straight to my house. Like, I would not watch Twister.
Really?
Okay,
I love
there's
Twister.
A story behind it. We had a tornado. I was with my dad because my parents were divorced, so it was a daddy weekend. I was at my dad's house, and a tornado was coming, and we had went to the video store. Remember those motherfuckers, the video stores? And we had rented Twister because it was just fresh out. We were so excited to see it. And so he pops it in VHS style, by the way. Yeah. Pops that into the VHS player, and we're watching it. We're all into it. It's me, my dad, my little brother. And then the sirens go off.
Like, you're like, are those real?
It's like real life. And he's like, oh shit. And we run to the neighbor's house and go hide in the basement. That is one of the tornadoes that took a portion of our town out.
Oh my gosh.
I did not watch Twister again until I was a full grown adult. I was like 12 when that happened. Refused to watch it because I thought that movie caused that tornado. That is what my brain come up with, like my mental ill brain.
And this is like, you watch serial killer movies and crazy shit.
I'm fine now. I watch anything now. But it's just as a child.
But yeah, it's crazy how our brains can just like, that's so crazy. Yeah. But I always picture like an alley, like a straight alley through the part of the country
it's not though, at all. Okay, Tornado Alley consists of northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, parts of Louisiana, parts of Iowa, Nebraska, and eastern Colorado. So it goes up and down. If you think about the states, it's an up and down situation. Like it goes down the states.
Okay.
That is what we've considered. Now it alters. Like it can alter. I know sometimes Illinois and Indiana are thrown in there and then they take it out because it's not as much. And then sometimes states the other way get thrown in there. Like more of Colorado will be added. But they've not recently, like the last 20 years, decided Tornado Alley's not as violent as what it used to be. So we got a new one, and it's called Dixie Alley.
And see, I had never heard of that until recently.
It is even more severe than Tornado Alley. Dixie Alley is Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. So it goes more horizontal across the state.
That's crazy, because when you think of tornadoes, you usually think of like Kansas or Oklahoma but they're not even in that one. Huh?
These are the more deadly ones, I think. They're the more violent, deadly ones. Don't get me wrong. A tornado is deadly and violent no matter where the fuck you are and who you are. But there
have been some really bad. I'm surprised. Did you say Missouri's in that? Is Missouri in that?
Missouri was in the Tornado Alley, not the...
Surprise, because there's been some bad
Missouri gets bad tornadoes. Yes, they do. Okay, and so... The way we measure a tornado, we've come up with this little scale, and yes, it's just like Twister. Dorothy. No, it's not Dorothy. In 2007, we developed the EF scale.
Yeah.
EF. It stands for words I can't say, so we're not going to say those. It's how they literally measure a tornado. It has to do with wind speed and rotation, and we don't usually know what it is until days after the tornadoes came.
Yeah.
Like they'll say
after they assess everything.
Like the tornado we had the other day, I think they said an EF2 was the strongest we had.
Yeah.
A week later they told us that. Okay, so an EF0 is up to 85 miles per hour. These are really weak, don't do much. But it's still considered a tornado.
Yeah.
Some straight line winds are considered an EF0 too.
Yeah.
Because they're just so strong. EF1 is up to 110 mile per hour winds. EF2, 135 mile per hour winds. EF3, 165 mile per hour winds. EF4, 200, up to 200. Anything over 200 mile per hour is a 5. There's nothing more than 5. Like, it's not...
I mean, that's just like fucking takes buildings and fucking cars.
That is literally... Nothing is left.
Yeah,
if you survived, it's because you were in the basement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you were underground to survive that. Yeah. Texas is the number 1 tornado state. They get more tornadoes than any state in the United States, and Kansas is the second.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's all insane. Like, I can't... I'm already over storm season, and we just fucking started. Like... Yeah. Granted, I would take this over winter any day of the week, year. I'm not a winter person. Like, and once the storms are gone, it's not.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, it's not as bad.
I like storms in general. Like, just give me a good rainstorm any day.
We don't get many of those.
We don't. Like, but they do say there's around 2,000 rainstorms per minute on Earth. Per minute. So around the entire...
On Earth?
Yeah, rainstorms are, so just a rainstorm. Yeah, around the entire world, 2,000 per minute.
Nothing is minimal anymore. No. Like, even if we get a Air Bunny rainstorm, that rainstorm lasts for 3 days with 50 mile per hour winds, and it's no longer a rainstorm. It's a fucking nuisance.
Yeah.
Like, and then what's going to happen is tornado season doesn't really last that long. It's only a couple months, and usually the way my scientific brain, because I'm not scientific, it's like a buildup of warm.
Yeah,
it gets
you
warmer
feel it coming,
and warmer
and then you're like,
warmer,
oh,
and then it fucking explodes, and then we go back down to like the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Where we're at.
Yep.
We were at. Now we're warmed up again, and we're about to have another one today. Yeah. So it's just like, it's a constant.
And then now they're
warming.
saying possibly snow tomorrow.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So the other day after the tornadoes, it's like 80 degrees, boom, tornadoes, and then the next day or two there was snow.
Nothing stuck, nothing
in the
stayed.
end of March.
Yeah,
like,
but it was that cold coming in behind that,
yep.
and that's what it is. Our atmosphere. It's like it can't take it anymore, and there's nothing in between these. We don't get a nice little rainy rain,
right?
And then it's like, it gets it all out of its system, and it's like, fuck you, I'm done. And then we have the hottest, most death-defying dry summer where you cannot breathe outside. It's
and our humidity is just like, I don't even know.
Have you heard the theory that we're in a dome? We all live in a big dome. It's like a simulation of a dome or whatever. They need to open the dome and stop.
Let some air out.
Like, seriously.
Speaking of just storms in general, do you remember hearing, like, growing up, don't ever shower during a storm?
Yeah.
And my mom would always be like, don't be on the phone when it's storming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, don't
open your windows.
Yeah.
My dad always used to make us crack our windows so the pressure in the house wouldn't build up.
And they say you're not supposed to.
Oh, no, that's all a myth.
But yeah, it makes sense in my head to not have the windows closed because they won't shatter that way. But then also things will come through. So the wind.
I mean, you just crack them. You crack all the windows just so the air can get through. I don't know how.
But I know that the shower thing had to be because of lightning, surely. Because
I won't let my kids.
Insane.
I won't let my kids. They don't shower during
mine
a storm.
don't either.
I know, like if it's raining, if it's thundering, but if I know there is lightning and it is, I can see it through my windows, it is close enough to me, I will wait the 15 minutes it's going to take for that lightning to pass.
They think,
and then,
the way they talk, it's like lightning. It's rare to get struck by lightning, but it's really not that rare.
No, it's really not.
If you're protecting yourself, if you're taking precautions, but lightning hits it, like the National Weather Service has estimated like 100 lightning flashes per second occur worldwide. So around the world, that's like 8 million times per day lightning strikes. So if you're out and about all the time when there's a storm, you're bound to get hit eventually. Like if you go out during every storm, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like people who chase storms would be more likely to get hit, but I don't think they do. Like I think they don't.
They say that cars don't get hit very often, maybe because of the tires, I don't know.
I think lightning is just...
It's crazy and phenomenal at the same time. Like, it is a phenomenon in its own.
A phenomenon.
They say it hits more often, will hit the tallest, pointiest, most isolated object.
I've been standing in a garage and I watched a tree get hit by lightning and the tree catches on fire instantly.
I read somewhere that the Empire State Building gets hit like 100 times a year with lightning.
Is it because it's so tall?
Because it's so tall and it's isolated and it's just like, here I am, hit me. I don't know.
They probably have severe precautions up there to take that electricity.
I guess it can destroy.
So, at what point, as we as Americans, are we going to take the lightning and try to make electricity out of it? Because I'm surprised we haven't, or maybe we have and we just aren't allowed to know that because, like
Tesla coil type stuff. But they say that the sun. Okay, it would be dangerous as fuck because it is supposed to be 5 times hotter than the sun, the surface of the sun, which is like 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, but if a lightning strike
and create something on the Earth in like a controlled area, to take a lightning hit, and then they could take that energy and do something with it
because it creates a whole electromagnetic field.
$20 says America is going to come up with something for that soon.
I can't believe they haven't already. They probably have.
They probably have. We just aren't allowed to know those.
Or maybe it's out there and we just haven't looked. I don't know, but I'm sure. Because I'd read that trees, like if a lightning bolt hits a tree, it can turn the moisture inside into steam, and then it causes like an internal explosion. So that's how you'll see like a tree just completely like
engulf.
Yeah,
I've seen a tree engulf, so I believe it.
It's insane. So there's this crazy story I saw. Speaking of lightning, in 1998, October 28th, a freak blast of lightning struck an entire soccer, we know it as soccer, football team. This was the African state of Congo. It was during a football match, while their opponents were left completely unharmed. All 11 team members died. So the lightning struck one entire team and killed them all, and the other team was left untouched. How fucking crazy is that?
They must have pissed the universe off,
right?
Or something.
Of course, a lot of the fans blamed witchcraft, dark magic, whatever. But it's like,
yeah, they did.
All 11 team members died,
of course.
And the other team, and
That's
I
crazy.
read that they were tied at the time. Like, what a convenience! Like, wow,
that's one of those holy shit.
Oh my god, that blew my mind. And then
that can't be real. I'm sorry. I think that's...
I went and looked it up like on multiple sources, and it all said the same stuff. So I'm like, is this true, or is this like? It just doesn't even seem possible.
No, it really doesn't.
But lightning is fucking insane. And I've always heard, you can't be struck. It won't strike
the same person twice or same place twice.
Same place twice.
Yeah.
But it will. It definitely will. I mean, the Empire State Building is proof of that.
I've also, and this is kind of, we're turning into conspiracy here. I don't know if I believe it, because I think I believe more in like the El Nino and the patterns and everything. So like the last, let's say 3 to 5 years, we've, as a country, as American country, I don't know about other countries, so I can't speak for them. We have really gotten into solar power.
Yeah.
We have it on our schools. We have it on our houses. We have fields of it now.
Yeah.
We have all of that. It warms the earth more than what it needs to be warmed.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is a conspiracy theory technically, because we don't know, because it's so new.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so in that, those are causing more and more storms, because our earth is getting warmer faster than what it needs to.
It makes sense.
Because like normally, after winter, it takes a while for the earth to, even though it's nice outside, your ground's still frozen for weeks. But it's not now because of all the solar power that has warmed up the earth earlier. So now we're getting storms sooner.
That makes sense.
I mean, it does. And like I said, we haven't been this big in solar power for long enough for it to be like, yeah, that's true kind of thing. Because it's only been, like I said, the last 3 to 5 years. It's gotten, like, you can get it. You can make a phone call and it'll be here tomorrow and you can put it on your roof. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
there has to be some correlation. It's not that crazy of a theory, really.
Seriously, it's warming the earth because it's warming that, I don't know. I can kind of get behind it. Like, seriously. So
there has to be something because, like I said, last year being... like with the tornadoes, more recorded than like in history.
But last year was an El Nino year, so you get into it. It's like you fight with yourself, just like with global warming, and it's not global warming. Yeah. You fight with yourself because I can believe
we'll never truly know or understand.
I can believe in global warming 100%, but then I can't. There's certain things that make me say, and do not get me wrong, I know our globe is warmer. I'm talking about all the stuff that's coming along with it.
Yeah, like what can be blamed on climate change and what can't. Like,
exactly, and what is technically global warming, and why don't we do more about it if it is really a thing? Because it's a conspiracy. Like, it's
just so, there's so much to think about, and I know we'll never understand. We'll never truly get it all, but just storms in general, and how many kinds there are, and how many weird things like the Derricos that I'd never heard of one being here.
I'm going to put a thing out here. A year from today, if we're still sitting here doing this podcast, like, I need to write her down on something. I wonder how many new things are going to come about.
Right?
Because it's like every time we get a storm, we hear about the new, what was the cyclone bombing?
The bomb cyclone with the pressure drop, the mud rain, the corn sweat.
Corn sweat. Remember corn sweat? That was last year.
Derricos, which I don't remember ever hearing of
Derricos are new. So, like,
the straight line winds and all that.
Are you writing them down?
I'm writing them all down, and then next year...
Yeah, we should. We should see how many more new things there are, just because this is fucking crazy.
And maybe, I mean, I'm sure they've been a thing, but... not since we...
It's not a thing that the public knew about, I guess.
And everyone I talked to is like, yeah, no, I've never heard that before.
Exactly.
So it's not
I mean, we don't really talk to enough people to say that. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe we should get, I don't know, on a TikTok and ask. I don't
do TikTok. A group of people of all different ages and,
around the country, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to wrap it up?
I guess so.
Okay, if you need to contact us for any reason, you can do so at onlyifyoucankeepup@gmail.com. Thanks for sticking with us because it's about the weather.
And if a storm's coming, take preparations. Not preparation H. Oh, God, just be prepared, okay?
Be prepared, but don't be scared of the weatherman.
Be prepared, but don't be scared. You got this.
That's we should put that on a t-shirt just for you. Okay. Bye.